Okay, so here we go. We're gonna start by continuing where we left off yesterday, making pretty decent progress in filling in the crowd with an audience. So unfortunately my camera, my actual filming camera, requires my custom physical camera, Kinemachina, in order to function. So I'm not able to control it normal. I'm not able to go in, out, and stuff like that. So I have to pretty much just I can just look around and go in and out of focus. I think I'm able to adjust my zoom levels, but basically the camera is pretty much stuck in the middle of the scene. It does work very well as a camera, though, as a real camera. So I'm actually holding it in my hands right now, but I don't have it hooked up. I probably will do that later on if I can find the little transmitter. But for the time being, this is really more than enough for what I need. And some of the things that I need to do is I obviously need to make this a little darker. Well, a lot darker. I have to install some lasers so I can do the light show, fireworks, stuff like that. Make everything just come out perfectly cinematic. Come on. Okay. My keyboard had turned itself off. Power saving. So right now what I'm doing is I'm generating a column of spectators that are going to go into this area here along that wall, and I'm just kind of wrapping them around here. And quite honestly, I don't know why I couldn't just make a big old snake and just kind of make a mess. I guess I don't have to. I could just do a bunch of squares and stuff and do and just overlap them. Maybe, yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it in patches. So even this line is probably not something that I need. I was thinking I was going to do this line here, but it might be better to just do patches. But the other thing about this is that it also acts as an invisible barrier, so a character running around the stage or whatever can't just go through here for whatever reason. So kind of, to me, it helps with the camera work when I'm not controlling it by hand. Alright, so let's see here. Maybe in the next stream I'm going to implement my webcam so that I can actually, show my face. Sometimes it's a lot easier to kind of have a conversation or chat with people and stuff like that, because a lot of the work that takes place behind the scenes is, it's pretty boring and monotonous. So, people just get kind of bored of looking at the same stuff, same image over and over. So I think the webcam will kind of help with that. Let's see. So I do have a pretty good idea of where I want to go with this. And let's see. Let's see if I can find. So I have a previous kind of mocked out. Gonna put it together last night. And I'll bring it out later. Can't find it. Might have to re-export it. Okay, so I do see that there is a free project available somewhere for Unreal Engine. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, I'm gonna have to figure out how to work that, because I definitely don't want to have to do everything manually, just like the crowds. It's freaking awesome. So that's going to be a whole new learning challenge just for that sequence alone. But it's obviously possible to do stuff like this in Unreal. I also have to look for some fireworks. So that's pretty darn cool. So this project is available for free. If you go to YouTube Light Show Free Unreal Engine 4 project, they have a link to it there, and it links to the Unreal Engine forums, and the guy, the creator of that project, has made it available there. So I'm definitely going to be using the hell out of that. Let's see. Here we go. So this is what I'm going for. Obviously this is just a previs. It's not, anything that's going to be in the final thing. The characters are going to walk towards the ring. So we're gonna have a bunch of like fireworks, and it's gonna be like a very ESPN type presentation towards the end. So what I'm thinking is I'm actually gonna dig a hole through this wall and just make a larger corridor. And obviously there's going to be multiple cameras running around. I'm going to put a couple of security guards with suits, black suits, just kind of walking, pushing the crowd out of the way. And instead of walking around the ring, which is what they're doing right now, for previous purposes, they're just going to go straight up into the ring. But in order for that to work, I have to make that long corridor. So the creator of this particular stadium didn't actually put doors in it, or dressing rooms, or locker rooms, or anything like that. So as he makes his way to the ring, he's gonna come up, and it's gonna be like a little ominous type of thing. I'm thinking the guy that's playing this character, the actor in real life, he's a really good singer. So I might be able to exploit that, which wasn't on the script, but the reason I put him there is because I saw a couple of the Mayweather fights a while back, and I saw freaking Justin Bieber in there as part of the entourage, and I thought, hey, that's kind of wacky. So I'm gonna put the little Justin Bieber motherfucker right there, and probably gonna have him hold a wireless mic and like just kind of like singing some song as they make their way towards the ring, and it'll be like a full spectacle, you know. This is gonna be a very like important scene in the film, probably one of the most pivotal ones. So I'm really looking forward to having everything set up for this. Alright, so enough about that. Let's see what this crowd, I'm probably going to end up deleting it. Well, one of the things I don't like about Unreal Engine is that those little toggles, they always become untoggled whenever you close the program or do anything, move around. It's like, you know, you collapse everything for a reason, and then it uncollapses itself. Okay. Let's see. Close some windows. Alright, so we have this fan spawner plugin, which is actually, you know, for what it does, it's fine. The characters are kind of crappy, you know. Don't put them anywhere where you require close-ups and stuff. I mean, they look great from here, from far away and stuff, but once you get like really close up, they look really terrible. And it's not that easy to put in your own characters. I mean, it would be nice if I could just make a whole bunch of like low poly custom characters that are wearing actual clothes that people wear in real life. But no such luck. Okay, so is this that's the floor. There we go. So add chairs in, and then we're going to bring this out like that. So this guy, I'm gonna give it maybe 60%. Let's do 50% people. And I think animation number 9 has them standing up. Let's see here, 9. Yeah, they're standing up. But 50%, that's still a lot of people. Okay, there's a little sparsity right there. Okay, where's the fan spawner? There it is. We'll add another row, curve smoothness. Alright, that should be more than enough. And I think their legs are going right through the ground, so that's not gonna fly. There we go. And we'll do 50% and test. There we go. And we'll hide this spawner for now. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do something with the camera, so I can use the regular camera the way I need it to. Since this project is built for my VR camera, you know, maybe I'll work on this. Are these guys facing the wrong way? Put the twins right there. It's supposed to be random, but that's exactly the same guy, pretty much sitting next to each other. What is she doing? No, don't do that! Fucking crazy ass. Sitting there, smiling all goofy ass, playing with herself. Why? They're so dead, no blinking. That guy looks like that's that crazy guy from YouTube with the bleached teeth. Wow, that's some horrible looking cross. Can't wait till I have the lights turned off so I can hide everything. You know, all we need is the movement like that. That's perfect. Okay, let me see who's at my door. All right, UPS man. So let's see. Oh, that's why these guys look like they're facing the wrong way. Okay. So, I don't want to put too much stress on the system. I wanted to kind of see what that walking looks like, but you know what? Gonna have to fix these guys too. Well, that'll work fine. If only these guys would actually stay there though, in their spot. I think once the system is restarted, it kind of just chooses random spots for people. I really doubt these guys are gonna stay in place. Probably just wasting my time. So what I want to do is I want to make a hole right here. What's on the other side of this wall? There's nothing. Maybe I can make a corridor that goes from here. And that way I could just stay within the map. They can come out through here and walk this way. But I do like this other flat surface right here too though. What's on the other side? I think that's just the edge of the map right there. Yeah. So there's nothing there, it's just a corner. Let's see if we can pull up a tutorial, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, look at that. What would people do without Google? It's funny because when I was a kid, you know, the teachers used to tell us, you know, you gotta learn to do math in your head, blah, blah, blah. And we would always be like, why do I need to learn math? You know, that's what calculators are for. Just carry a calculator. But as I grew older, the whole premise of that argument has changed. Now it's more like, why do I even need to bother learning anything? Well, as long as you got Google, you know, there's no need to worry about learning anything. You can always find out when you need it, just like what calculators used to be for us. All right. So apparently this tutorial, Google has marked the essential spot between here and here.
But now what? Right? How do you go inside the room? So this is pretty cool too. You click on the same box. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you need like a window. So you put the box here, you're like, wait a minute. That doesn't do anything, right? Like this literally doesn't do anything.
That's right, it doesn't do anything.
You go over here, brush type. Additive means the box is basically there. You subtract.
It's a Boolean function.
There's a hole. Look at that. So now you just
Okay.
scale it, right? Got a nice little viewing area here for whatever you want. I'm just freestyling this, so I don't know how big a window is supposed to be. This looks nice. I think it looks nice. Maybe it doesn't look
It's
nice.
got some good coffee going on.
But look, you got a window, so now you just need a door, right? Same thing. I'm not gonna walk you through it. Alright. I don't know how I got the cone. You could have a cone door, right? Up to you.
You sure can.
So, additive, subtractive. Just scale it, dude.
Okay, let's see if that works. It's gonna be the first time I try that. I really think I should do it here. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it there. So, what is it? Actor? What the hell did he choose?
Make it a door. Oh, you know what I noticed? It touches the floor. So what you do the end key thing again, right? Like that. You don't have to estimate, you just press N.
Oh
You
yeah, that's a cool trick that I recently found out, where if you hit the end key on your keyboard, it drops everything to the floor. So that's been very useful to me lately. Okay, so I need to build a hole in that wall right there. And
Perfect door.
Geometry. Do we have a geometry? Oh, there's a cube. Let's see. I forgot which key does the scale. R. Oh, that was close. W is for moving. Hit the R key. And we're going to make this, well, I don't know how far out, how thick that wall is, so we'll find out. And somewhere in here, there's something called subtractive, according to that video. Let's see.
Make it a door. Or maybe we need like a window. So you put the box here, you're like, wait a minute. That doesn't do anything, right? Like this literally doesn't do anything. But you go over here, brush type, additive means the box is basically there.
Brush type additive. Okay. You know what? While you're at it, while I'm at it, I'm gonna hit subscribe on this guy. That looks like a very good tutorial. DVT tutorials. Wonder who that is. So, brush type. I don't have a brush type. There we go. There's the details. Brush type, brush type. physics, collision, lighting. Text, cooking, replication, actor, LOD, ray tracing. Actor. Okay, so that's the problem with tutorials, man. It's like everything looks so easy, but if you don't know where everything is, now I need a tutorial that explains to me where to find the freaking brush. Let's try that search. Not there. Maybe it's a different type of asset that I'm looking for. Visual effects, geometry. Okay. So here's geometry, and in that video we have basic lights geometry. So the options that go top to bottom here are left to right here. I'm assuming that's kind of what happened. So now let's do that. Now we're cooking with gas. I have a feeling this is gonna work. Trying to get used to using my keyboard shortcuts. It's at a weird angle, huh? Yeah. Yeah, making a hallway in that angle is going to be kind of sucky. Mm-hmm. Ooh, did I do it? I think I did it. I am going to learn this software if it kills me. You know, I used to suck at Flash, and it was one of the hardest things I ever learned. Forced myself to learn it because I knew the potential of the software and what I wanted to do and what I could do with it. And it's like Unreal Engine is like Flash all over again. Okay, so brush type. I look at the truje. In other words, the thing I ended up here for in the first place. There it is. Brush settings, brush type. It did not work. What the fuck? It did not work. So that was a fail. assuming it has something to do with the property of the other element. Maybe this box or whatever this is has to also be made out of whatever this thing is made out of. Well, that sucks. Okay. I don't think that tutorial is the best tutorial. Well, it probably is for whatever, for, you know, I I bet if I rewind this, he made the walls out of something, whatever the same material is.
First, move this out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're probably thinking, alright, how do I make it?
So
Right, where's
it would be nice to just be able to make this damn
but,
box here.
and then you scale it. You do all three in place. Like, you kinda got room, but it's not like, not really. So, how I do it is you literally just click on this. A really cool shortcut. So useful. You hold Alt. You hold left click. You got it. Fine. Get a piece of it. Look at that. You now have 2 folders. You now have 3 folders, right? 4 folders. 5. No, you don't actually. You still have 3. Because each time you want to duplicate, you have to let go of Alt and your mouse button. See, if I'm still holding Alt, I'm duplicating. But yeah, super useful. So we're not gonna have 5 folders, but we will have 2. Except I'm not actually going to keep this on the floor. I'm going to rotate.
So let's do a little bit more Googling around.
Now, click on this.
Because there's got to be a way to just cut a hole through that wall without going through some crazy stuff. And I sure as hell don't want to spend all day trying to figure out how to make a hole.
So now, a really nice shortcut. You see how there's a space here? Instead of being like super anal, you can just click on this and press N. And it automatically snaps it right here for you. So easy. So I want my room to be maybe starting from here. Here. This right here. And I want it to be more on this side.
Tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a hole in your landscape so that you can build something underneath, like a little cave system or anything you want. So to start with,
Yes,
I'm
please.
just going to create a landscape.
See if it'll work.
Material for it. So before you build this, you want to make the whole thing. You can skip how further in the video, which will timestamp that will be on screen now. First off, I'm just going to delete all of these and go over to the landscape tab, up the top left up there, and then get the perfect size that I want. So I think the default of this doesn't look too bad, it's not too big, not too small. The overall
So this one is going to be through a landscape. I don't think this wall is a landscape. I think it's just a regular mesh.
Using starch content textures, so I'm going to right click here, in material, and call this landscape maps. And obviously you can do different things, different textures, you know, so I'm using starch content. So if it's starch content, the textures, and then I'll find this grass one. And obviously you can just use the grass material, but I'm showing how to put the textures into the material yourself if you're using your own ones. I think this grass one here looks good, so if you just click on it and then open the material again, hold that T and left click, I'll put in a texture sample of that texture. Well, that didn't work for some reason, so we can just search for it down here. So we just search for grass, and I'll get brown grass, diffuse, put that to the base color.
While he's doing that, I'm going to look at some other shit.
So grass, brown grass, and normal. I'll put that to the base.
Checking out the forums.
Our basic grass material for our landscape. So if we apply that and close it, and then I've got material up here, you can search for landscape map or whatever you just call it, and put that in there like so. I'm going to hit create, and then we'll just wait for this to compile, and here we are. We now have our very own grass. Very simple, doesn't look that good. but it works. So now what we want to do is open up our material again like this. And
Then
click
you
on
should make a
everything
new
down
mesh
the
that
bottom
is
left
modeled the
here
way you
where it
want
says
rather than
remove
trying.
opaque.
And get the fuck out of here with that
Change this
stupid
to
answer.
matte, like so.
I don't want to have to go and model the damn thing. I mean, if I knew how to model, I wouldn't be buying these damn assets. Okay, I'll do that. You could use a box brush and just subtract this brush where you want the staircase. Then you can convert the brushes to static meshes. If you go to the Place Actors tab and go to the Geometry, you can select Subtract and create cube, which will subtract whatever it touches. I don't think that's true. I tried it. That's what I just did. It will subtract whatever it touches, he says. Maybe there's other settings here. There's no additional answers to this. Okay.
Oh, we have the opacity mask as well. So now if we
We'll
just
continue
right-click
letting
and
this
search
guy
for
do his
landscape,
thing.
Visibility mask like so. Put that in.
There's gotta be a
Simply
way.
just plug that in. The opacity mask like so. Hit apply, and then if we close this, wait for the shaders to compile,
Whoa.
and then find a spot in our landscape that we want to make a hole, we can now do that. So there we are, the shaders compiled. I'll go find a spot. I'll go here, I'll put down the brush size just a little bit. And then up here where it says the sculpt tool, you're going to click on that and go down to visibility. And then if you just hold left click on the certain spot you want to make a hole, wait for the shaders to compile, and you can see, you know, a hole. And this can be used for multiple things. You can make a little lake or a pond or something, or you can make a cave system so you can go down, or if you just want a basement or something, you go through the landscape, you know, cap. So if we hit play and walk over there, you can see that we have a hole. So if we're just walking on here, that's fine. And then this is a hole into the
Box
void, 'cause I
brush.
put nothing underneath there. And just to prove that we fall off, we do just fall into it. And we did actually kill the character as well because of the default settings on the third person example map. So there we go, I think that'll be it for this video because we've managed to put a hole in the landscape. It is extremely simple as you can see. So thank you for watching. I hope you found it helpful and hope you enjoyed.
What?
And if you did,
What
make
did you
sure
do?
to like, subscribe down
I
below
missed
here.
it completely.
That's fine. And then this is a hole into the endless void because I put nothing underneath there. And this just going to go down. And if you just a little bit, there we are, the shades will hit apply. And then if we close this, wait for the shaders to compile, and then find a spot in our landscape that we want to make a hole, we can now do that. So there we are, the shaders compiled. I'll go find a spot. I'll go here, I'll put down the brush size just a little bit. And then up here where it says the sculpt tool, you're going to click on that and go down to visibility. And then if you just hold left click on a certain spot you want to make a hole, just wait for the shaders to compile, and you can see, you know, the hole. And this can be used for multiple things. You can make a little lake or a pond or something, or you can make a cave system so you can go down, or if you just want a basement or something, you go through the landscape, you know, cap. So if we hit play and walk over there, you can see that we have a hole.
Huh.
So if we're just walking on here.
Okay, well that's pretty cool to know, but that still doesn't solve my issue. Let's see here. see what this is.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to accomplish a few basic poly modeling tasks using modeling mode in Unreal Engine 4.26. So our standard sort of poly modeling tool is the Polyette Tool. And if you have a look at this tool, you'll see that we only have a small set of operations available right now for poly modeling. A much smaller set than you might be used to if you use other tools like Blender. And so some operations that you might be able to do with a single click in Blender still take multiple
So
steps.
theoretically, this should
Or
be
you
cutting a hole through this
accomplish
brick
them
because
in
they're the
a
same
somewhat
type
different
of.
way than you might do in Blender. And you know, we're always adding more tools, but for 4.26, this is the tool set we're going to have available. And so I'm going to show you how to accomplish two really standard things you might want to do, which is to make a hole in a wall or a doorway. So let's start by making the wall. So I'm going to use the Polygon tool in the Create tab. I'm going to set this to a rectangle, which will let me draw walls really easily. I'm going to control click on this ground plane. That's going to set my work plane on the ground surface. It doesn't matter where it is, but by default it tends to start a little bit below the ground plane in the default Unreal scene because the ground here is a little bit above the actual z=0 plane. So I'll click. If I drag out along the axis, it'll snap. Default, and then in the orthogonal direction. Now I have a wall. When I go to Polyedit, I can see that I can select the faces on this wall. Manipulate
How did you go to
them
Polyette?
in the direction, and now I have a wall. When I go to Polyedit, I can see that I can select the rectangle.
I gotta get into the
Two
mode first.
really standard things you might want to do, which is to make a hole in a wall or a doorway. So let's start by making the wall. So I'm going to use the Polygon tool in the Create. I'm going to set this to a rectangle.
Yeah, that's
Wall's really easy.
probably not where I'm going. I need to figure out how to make a hole.
Alright, so now we can actually make a room and an actual level. So first things first, move this out of the way. So now you're probably thinking, alright, how do I make a room? Right, where's the room thing? Oh, you put a box here, but, and then you scale it. You can do all three, of course. Look, you kinda got a room, but it's not like, it's not really. So how I do it is you literally just click on this. A really cool shortcut. So useful for you can maybe makeup.
You know, he's using just a regular
And now
mesh.
we just need two more walls, right? Click on this, duplicate, and that moves. This changes your perspective. So where is this? Right from here, same a lot with the same things. You move it back. You want it to, it's doing like look at this. No accuracy. So you can make it to 1. Maybe the smallest. Well, actually, if you're super precise, you can disable it. So now it's smooth. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Because same box. This is pretty cool too. You click on the same. But now what? Right? How do you go inside the room? So this is pretty cool too. You click on the same box. Alright? Or maybe even a window. So you put the box here, you're like, wait a minute. That doesn't do anything, right? Like this literally doesn't do anything. But you go over here, brush type, additive means the box is basically there. You subtract. There's a whole so now you just scale it.
What the hell?
Have a nice little viewing area.
Why doesn't mine do the same thing?
Or whatever you want. I'm just freestyling this, so I don't know how I'm gonna do anything. But you go over here, brush type. Additive means the box is basically there. You subtract. There's a whole. So now
You
you
think do something different?
But you go over here, brush type.
Brush type.
Additive means the box is basically there. You subtract. There's a whole. So now you just.
No, it just doesn't work for me.
Nice little viewing area.
Is this a bug?
Or whatever you want.
How do we make this work? I mean, if I can't make it work from a technical perspective, then I'm just gonna have to fix it from a filmmaking perspective, where I'm still gonna make that damn corridor somewhere back there. However, when they're getting ready to pass through this door or whatever's supposed to be here, I can always cut away to something else and then cut back once they're on this side. I might have to just do that. So lazy, I guess. I mean, I already spent more than enough time trying to figure it out. That's you know, if I sit here and spend 8 hours or more just to figure out one thing, really not going to be making much progress. But at the same time, if I don't do it, hey, how's it going, 3D Sphinx? Animated lines? I didn't even know you guys were in here. Thought I was just talking to myself. How's it going, y'all? So yeah, I'm working with Unreal, trying to build this scene with the giant stadium. Yeah, I don't know how long you guys have been here, but I can't figure out how to put a hole in this damn stadium. Whoever developed this model didn't put any hallway doors or anything, you know. It's just like, I have a few problems with it, but nothing that can't be solved, I don't think. I mean, eventually all the lights are gonna be, you know, turned off and it's gonna be dark, and that's gonna be replaced with you know, the two fighters that are gonna be fighting. But to me, this stadium is very small. I mean, it needs to be like a huge stadium, so I just gotta figure out a way to, well, I mean, once everything's dark, it'll look bigger than it really is, but what is that? Okay. That's a, what is that? Is that like, is that a tip? I've never seen that before. My first $2 tips, I'm gonna go out and get me a coffee. I didn't even know you could do that. Well, thank you, Bad for Her. Can't you just put 2 sliding doors? Alright, so the problem with putting sliding doors is that I can put sliding doors, but how do I go through that wall? I mean, they created this wall here. I mean, the tutorial that I just saw, I'll show you and I'll compare. Wow, that's fucking crazy. Thank you. You don't have to do that. But that's pretty amazing. I've never had somebody give me a tip on YouTube before. Um, so I mean, it just goes through here, and I'll show you what I have on my iClone side, so you get an idea. Export that section and edit. Yeah, that's not an option. I don't think I can mess around with Blender. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm just not very good at modeling. But I think there's got to be an easier way. I mean, this thing is huge. And exporting it out and bringing it back in, I think it's going to require a lot of resetting everything up. I don't think I could just take out the model and put it back in. I've never done that. You know, if it does take long enough to figure this out, I might end up having to buckle down and just do it, try it. I mean, I guess I don't hurt anything by trying, but my concern is that this is a huge model. When I click on this, see, that's the building right there. If I turn it off, I mean, the entire thing is one piece. So I'm thinking whoever developed this doesn't have a very good sense of design. Cause I mean, I don't know how to model, but I do know, you know, how to construct 2D symbol-based stuff, and I'm assuming the workflow is kind of the same, you know, where you try to build everything modular so that if I just want to remove this piece, I could just remove it. But this guy just pretty much made one solid object here. It looks crazy. Export that one piece. Export that one piece. This one piece. This huge one piece. I don't know. I did export it earlier into iClone. Apparently you can export as OBJ and bring him into iClone, and oh man, that modeling part, that's daunting. That's scary, man. That's I don't know. Solo que cargarías la pieza completa. I know. But that's where I'm worried, you know. It's a huge piece. Pull up your bridges. No, I'm trying to avoid work. I'm gonna show y'all what the previs that I've been making. That's gonna go in here where what I kind of foresee for this. Now, obviously, the animation is a little lacking. So this is the model I exported out from Unreal, and I've just brought it into iClone. I got it on X-ray mode so I can still be able to see what I'm doing. But the animation itself is just a basic, what do they call this? Media director or motion director. I have that little girl walking in, and I basically put all the other characters to follow her. And I have like a little spleen path. But because there's no hallway, I did it from here. They do one spin around the ring. Oh, come on. And then he gets up in the ring. And let me see here. Hit play. This guy is gonna be holding a wireless mic. He's gonna be rapping some song. What happened to my camera? I guess I don't have a camera. I must have lost it at some point. So halfway there. Oh man, I got so much work to do on this thing. With between the lighting and all the light show. Last night I was working on this, but iClone crashed my software. Let me see if I can bring these guys over. And while that's happening, I'll show y'all some of the stuff that I found. It's very simple. I know it's very simple. Everything's very simple after you figure it out. You know, I have this for another scene in this film. I'm not a modeler. I don't know how to model. For another scene, I really need a taco truck, you know, and I eventually ended up buying one off of Turbo Squid, and just editing it, you know, inside of iClone. You know, put some decals on it and stuff, and it's a pain in the ass. And I also need to cut a hole in that for a doorway. I never made a model for iClone. I just made it for Blender. I'm assuming that for iClone making a model, I'm assuming that might be actually kind of easy after you do the actual modeling, because I was able to import this OBJ thing, and realistically, you know, a lot of these shaders and stuff for these characters, they work really well within iClone. So if you can bring all the assets from Unreal onto here, that might actually be a good solution also. But I wouldn't get the you know, the smokes and particles and crowd systems and stuff, and so well, that's one of the reasons I'm sticking to Unreal. Also because I built that virtual camera system that allows me to film everything like a real camera. Did this finish? Okay, so let's see here. Box display, live link, that's turned on. Let's see if this doesn't crash my system. Let me save everything real quick, because I did this a couple times yesterday and it almost corrupted my file. But I've learned, you know, so whenever something like that happens, you just gotta delete everything related to Reallusion and put it back in, and that usually fixes a lot. I made it for Unreal, not Blender. Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually like the way that iClone handles a lot of the shaders. I actually came up with a way to make these guys look very cartoony and stuff, very 2D, and they don't look all ugly like you know, like the 2D shaders, because it doesn't use any 2D shaders. And I wish I could do that, you know, for everything. I would probably do it within iClone itself, but I want to be able to finish this film within the next 2 years. I don't want to hang on to it much longer. Yep, it sure is. Yeah, the camera system is pretty badass. The one that I built for this one, it's kind of limited right now in the way I can present it to you, because it requires the Vive tracker to be enabled, and I don't know where I left my receiver, so it's kind of stuck in the middle of the ring. But you get an idea here of what the camera looks like. Look at that depth of field, and there's the focus, autofocus. I can also do zooming in and out. and of course that it's looking for the tracker, and since it's turned off, it's just kind of sitting there in one place. But when it's on, I can actually pick up the camera and actually move around the world in real time, and just hit record, and it'll record to an external recorder. It's pretty cool stuff. So it's kind of hard to, give up on that. Alright, did this thing finish? Let's see, modify, export, come on, what am I looking for? Unreal Live Link. I need to export that. Prop. Okay, let's export the characters. And I'm gonna move this out of the way because that's gonna lock up everything once it starts. Let's see. Yep, transfer. Alright, so while that's gonna take a good 5 minutes or so if it works. So I'll show you the previs of kind of what I'm going for. So I got this pretty cool 2.39 to 1 aspect ratio also where the final film is going to be using. So it's going to be this whole light show ESPN style, and this scene is actually going to be of almost 4 minutes long, possibly longer, maybe 5 minutes long, I think. And there's a lot of flashbacks and stuff, which is why I need this one to be a little long. My desktop is pretty Windows 98. Yes, it is. I turn off all the visual stuff. I mean, you'll be surprised how much processing that stupid little shadows underneath your icons and on the round corners add to your stuff. I need as much processing power as I can get, so I turn everything off. So what I'm thinking is I need to make this a hallway. So it'll be like a whole walk from the dressing room through the hallway, through the part with the people, and straight to the ring. Now, obviously, in this case, I'm kind of just I don't have a hole to walk through, so I am. So I kind of just made him walk around the ring and stuff. And of course, I mean, that's like the motion director thing. The actual sequence is going to be motion captured. So I'm going to go out in the parking lot of the studio and, just wire up a couple of people, and, we'll do the little walk and stuff. And yeah, I think that's going to be a fun day. And there we go. The Unreal crash at the hands of iClone. and it kind of recovers, and it continues to do the thing even though Unreal has crashed. If I turn this off, sometimes this will just die, or sometimes it'll stay there, but I won't be able to open up the project. I'm just gonna let it ride. Who knows? I might get lucky. I'm just gonna turn that off. See, something crashed, but I didn't have to restart, which might be a problem, because anything that I do within this project right now, until I restart it, is kind of iffy whether it's going to work or not. Right now I am using the RTX 3090 Ti, and yeah, it took me a long time to get that card. I was literally having to snipe Best Buy every day, clicking that button. How much RAM? I think I have 64 gigabytes of RAM. If I had megabytes, I'd be in trouble. So these are my specs. Oops, here we go. Something's happening again. So let's see here. Hardware resources. Oh, that's not. Let's try this one. Ugh. Unreal Editor. We got 2 instances of Unreal. What the hell's in the other instance? Oh, one is that little command prompt. Yeah, it took me forever to be able to snipe that, and I was not about to pay, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for one. You know, retail price I'll buy. I'll do it. I'll sacrifice a few things, but 100% CPU usage. $3060 is still pretty damn nice. It's a lot better than what I was working with. I was working with the 2070 Super, I think it was called, and you know, it just struggled for everything. Yeah. For all you peasants, I have the 3090 for another 2 weeks until somebody else gets the 4090, and then I won't be able to talk shit about anybody. Because of the monitor? So you're thinking all this real-time thing that's being exposed within the monitor might be adding to the CPU usage. Changing the main software on the main screen. Huh. That's an interesting theory. Let's see here. iClone is doing some wacky stuff. I guess it's still being used while that stuff is going on. Alright, well, it's really not a big deal whether it works or not right now, because I still gotta figure out how to put a hole in that wall. So, let's see here. Hole in wall Unreal. Let's consult with the Oracle. Modeling mode. No. Making a door, room, wall for beginners. This is the guy whose tutorial I saw earlier, and I wonder if it's that memory thing, whatever that is, that's not allowing that hole to be made. No, that can't be right. That's stupid. A hole in the landscape. That looks interesting, but it's a static mesh, not a landscape. For a minute there, it kind of sounded like I knew what I was talking about. Okay. Well, this thing is working again, but I still haven't restarted it. Oh, maybe I screwed up. I don't know, I doubt it, but maybe I need to have an origin point for iClone set up. You're still doing stuff. GPU direct failed to initialize. Asia media. Skin, eyes, PBR, cornea, eye occlusion.
Hey there, Deb.
Wait, did I just miss the whole tutorial?
Onto your landscape inside of the editor and all of the different brush tools available to us. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the video. Okay, so now that we're inside of the engine, let's go ahead. There's a layer I made to tear down. Welcome to
Internet has given me ADHD. It's getting to the point where even talking to people in real life, I'm just sitting there looking at them like, man, where's the fucking fast forward button? You know, just faster, dude. Speak faster. Hey, thanks for dropping in. It's really nice to see you again. Yeah, I mean, I saw a tutorial earlier where, you know, they showed you how to put a box and turn it into a subtractive thing like that, but apparently it just didn't work. I mean, I don't know if there's any special thing that needs to be done, but you're supposed to be able to just kind of put that box in like through anything, and when, oh shit. Yeah, I guess now Unreal's doing its thing. You're supposed to change that to a subtractive blend or something. I don't know what it's called, and that should put a hole through it. And if I can figure out how to make that work, I think that's just gonna give me another excuse not to continue not learning Blender. Yeah, I need one of those remotes, like the little 2-time. I'm like the biggest abuser of that that speed function. You need that in real life. I am not gonna use no damn blueprints. Come on, man. There's gotta be a better way to do this than with code. Shooting through walls. How to cut holes for doors and windows in Blender. I do have to like force myself. Nos vemos, que tengan buen día. Well, this thing is almost done. Is it done? Let me see. I don't see the characters. I think because I didn't put my origin point, it didn't bring them into the project. Okay. Bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. That's crazy. Alright, so let's see here. Control space. I like that feature. So somewhere in here there's an RL content. So there's my guy. Yeah, I mean, the rendering quality is a lot nicer. Like I know this right here looks really pixelated in iClone. Let's see, origin. Here it is. Here's a trick. I don't know if you know this, but like sometimes when you're having a hard time like placing objects on the screen, you can select them and let's see here, you pilot them. You basically treat them like they're a camera. So I'm gonna go over to that wall over there. Then you stop piloting, and there they are. Yeah, it does. Ugh. What is that? Look at those veins. Why are those even necessary? I mean, these are like low poly, low resolution characters, but they took the trouble to put veins on her legs. Where's my camera? Maybe I can... I don't need to. Well, let's see if we can snag some... I'm not ready to turn those lights off, But at some point I gotta throw away all those lights and replace them with ones that I can control. Come on. My keyboard run out of battery. Okay, so I don't even know what my next step is at this point. I think I need more crowd, but I think I have enough crowd to work with for now. So yeah, let's get some of these fog and light show elements in here. I wanted to bring that iClone stuff in here because I wanted to see their path, but ultimately I don't think I'm going to be using that current walking path anyway, so I'm not sure that's all necessary. I'm gonna do one more crowd here so I can show off this plugin. It's called Fan Spawner, and let's see here, I'm gonna delete it and put a fresh instance of it. Content. There we go. So it uses two different blueprints. The first one is the main like visual thing. And these guys are gonna come out through here. The others, so I'm gonna fill up this whole section right here with a crowd. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drop this right there. Where's the and the key? Just kind of put them in the direction you want to go with it. Just gonna do that, and it comes with an additional blueprint. This one I didn't even know this was possible, but it's like a widget thing that works within the editor. You right click on it and run it directly in the work environment, and it gives you options for that one. So instead of a line editor, which I can make a line, may make people just kind of walk, like just kind of place them in a curve and stuff, I'm gonna do like a box. So this gives me a box of chairs. So this is cool for like, you know, bingo halls or whatever, like stadiums like this. And you can make them go at an angle like the way I have them up there. But these guys are going to be just kind of standing up, so I'm going to get rid of the chairs. Well, I want to be able to see that, but I don't want the actual chairs to be there, so I'm just going to replace them with that. And by taking those little dots and manipulating the spleens, I can just fill in this whole section with people. You hold the Alt key, grab the dot, and it gives me another point. Because this stadium needs to look like that previous, like super crowded. Okay, so now that we've placed those guys there, I am going to just kind of commit to them. 392 seats. And I can move these guys out of the way. It's kind of like a little stamp tool for people. So I that's the main stamp, and that's what it left behind. Now I gotta find what it created. There it is. So here I'm gonna tell it we'll fill these seats with 50% or 33%. So I mean I don't want 100%, that's too many people, but yeah, maybe 40% should be good enough. The animation is number 9, which is the standing crowd. Boom, there we go. Now these purple things here, that's just kind of a placeholder just to kind of identify that this is like an area. But well, I mean an area where the crowd is at, but it won't actually show when you actually render the thing. So when we look at it, I don't know if the position of the camera will allow me to, because I can't move that camera around. Look at that. Maybe I should go less, maybe 30%. And for some reason they're sitting down. They're supposed to be standing up. Maybe just reverting that to the default. Well, I definitely filled it up. Let me hit save before some crazy shit happens. And let's see here, Reallusion. There it is right there, the origin point. Clone origin. So we do have that. Let's dump our characters in here and let's see if we can control them. Content. Which is the one I'm supposed to use? Is it the skeletal mesh? I need to put stuff in folders. It's getting a little. And there we go. iClone origin. We'll move that there. And we'll dump some more iClone characters. Let's do Dana. And we'll drop in Mr. Taco. Oh, I forgot to put a shirt on him. Oh well. Just for testing purposes. Where's Mike? These guys are gonna move. If it works, they're gonna move into their own spot. But let's make them look like they're part of the crowd for now. Once the iClone starts streaming, it's going to just kind of stream their location from wherever they're at inside of iClone. Alright, at least they look like they're part of the crowd, sort of. Alright, where's iClone? Now, if everything is working, it should be transmitting all that data except for Mr. Jack that I didn't put him in there. So, activate link. Seems to have worked. Okay. So the actual streaming is not working. Maybe I used the wrong version of the models. Maybe I gotta use the blueprint version. Yeah, it is. See, he's over there walking amongst the crowd right there. The hell? My K on my keyboard is not working. Alrighty then. So let's drop in the blueprint version of these guys. Let's make this loop. Hey Ren, how's it going, man? You got me in the 11th row. All right. So yeah, so that's working so far. You're going right through those people, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just a demo, just kind of get an idea. Let's see. Let's drop Dana. Boom. So Dana should be wherever, right, wherever Odie is, right there. So now let's get Mr. Taco in here. Come on. Okay. It's frustrating. I've spent I don't know how many hours trying to figure out how to build a hole through that wall right there. If I don't build a hole through my real wall first. I'm gonna take this call. that was my son. Apparently, there's gonna be a pretty good game of Population 1 being put together for later on. So, anybody watching this live wants to join in, look for me on the Oculus as Mr. Ibis, and on Vibe on Steam as Toon Titan. And feel free to join up. We're gonna be playing later on this evening. Alright, so let's see, how many guys are those? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I need Jack Hanna. And no, the frame rate is kind of, but that's the iClone frame rate, because everybody else is running pretty smooth, and these guys are basically like just kind of, I wonder how the capture works for something like this. When if you actually capture it, will it go back to being smooth because it interpolates the keyframes, and whether or not it loses a lot of like important frames. That's something that I'm yet to figure out. I can see that. Oops. I can see that they did fix a lot of the issues that they've had. Let me hit pause on that. So I'm actually playing it from inside of iClone. So this is the sequence here. Oh yeah, I need to bring that guy in here also. But yeah, the hair, the eyes had a lot of issues. And whenever you go out of focus, not all items become blurry. It's really weird. I wonder if they fixed that. I won't be able to test that anytime soon because I don't have my receiver for my virtual reality camera thingy. So the camera just kind of stands in one place. Oh, come on. Yeah, but these eyes used to come out all black. I'm glad to see they fixed that. Looks a lot better. Alright, you know what? Let's see if we can lobotomize that camera so we can use it without the Vive tracker. This is fun for the whole family. Right here, I'm gonna figure out what part of this makes it move. One thing I haven't figured out yet is whether or not there's a search function. Because it would be nice to be able to just run a search and then find a specific spot. So there's my mouse input. Well, it's wherever the initial start of the sequence is. UI, fade in, mouse wheel, camera height. Fly mode. I wonder if I left this thing turned on. If I remember correctly, I have a keyboard sequence for that. To enable it, spacebar press twice. Let's see what happens. No, it doesn't work because I don't have my tracker enabled. I'm gonna have to look for that receiver so I could use my tracker. So movement, tick once per frame, evaluate live link frame. Here we go. I think this is it. So live link transform blueprint data, capsule component, live link. Show. Break live link transformation. Relative location. So all this takes my tracker. Let's see if I can bypass it. I don't want to forget where it came from, so I wish I could make like a little temporary note here. Alright, so let's see what happens. Oh. Oh no, that's the zoom. Oh yeah, the fly mode is working. Slow as hell, but you forgot how to relocate file folders? What do you mean? Like to move them from one place to another? I don't remember. Oh, like when you're relocating your documents folder to a different hard drive, that kind of a thing. Just right click on the My Documents folder, go to Properties, I think, and there's like a or location option in there. It'll allow you to change the location. Press E. Pressing E will smoothen everything down. Gamepad right shoulder. Did I put a gamepad controls on this thing? Oh. Put game. Okay, let's see if the gamepad works. Since I disabled the tracker. No, it's disabled. Okay. Gotta put each button individually for focusing. Ooh, hello. Who's a pretty boy? Okay, I still. Oh, here we go. Okay. It's a little faster. Okay, this might be suitable. Look at that. Same guy. Man. Gotta figure out a way to add more variety. Okay, this is gonna let me test it. So we'll bring the camera. Where the hell are my actors? I'm all turned around. It should be right here. You either got here when all the women left or you scared them off. I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, so I can move around using this control, and I guess I can look around with the mouse. Alright. Let's see if we can run iClone. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here we go. What is going on there? Is that cloth dynamically interacting with the crowd? That's kind of trippy. It's kind of cool if that's what's happening. Nope, it's doing it all on its own, I think. Oh, it's because of the frame skipping. Every time it skips a frame, it causes the dynamic stuff to kind of resort itself out. It's terrible. can't believe I didn't put a button in here for up and down. Need to make sure I do that. Look at that guy. What the hell is he doing? I see you. Random crowd member. What the fuck? And that is trippy. So this is iClone's problem here. Skipping frames. Not sure how sustainable that is. When it comes down to actually recording the sequence, might have to find a way to just export the animations and bring them in directly. Yeah, that is so weird. I'm not sure having dynamic cloth is really all that important to me, as long as it moves. Because if this is the kind of crap I have to deal with, I don't think I want to do it. Oh look, they didn't fix the they have not fixed the eyelash issue. Look at the hair on that guy. Even though it's out of focus, there's parts of it stay all sharp. Oh, that's a good angle. See if we can do like a steady shot. Yeah, that's a good angle. So why you gotta come in here and scare all the women, Rand? Yeah, I'm still at it. Because there's no easy way to have characters go upstairs. Post up here behind this crowd. Just kind of wait for them. How difficult could Blender possibly be? I've only been trying to learn it for 10 years. I'll never learn. Man, I think that's gonna allow for some really good shots once this is ready. Let's see if we can tone this down, go to minimal. That might help improve the frame rate. No. Oh, come on. Really? There we go. So now it should look pretty garbage. But it should give me better frame rate. So far, so good. Oh yeah, that definitely helped improve the frame rate. Nope, not yet. I got distracted. I got distracted figuring out some other stuff, but I gotta go back to that. I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish this thing without figuring out that hole in the wall situation. I have to get rid of some of those people in the front. Let me try something. iClone. Let's try running at 12 frames per second consistently. Okay. So now let's take a look at what they look like at 12 frames. Well, that's going to be a good shot right there. It's way too much to manage. Well, I've been trying to figure out how to do a hole through this wall all morning, and I have a feeling it's gonna take me forever. And I've seen tutorials. For some reason, it doesn't seem to work. Let me try it one more time. If not, I'm going to have to give up and go take a little lunch break while I think it over. I'm not going to be able to do anything else until I finish that damn hole. Bum 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 bum. Where was that tutorial? Is this it?
It's super.
So
It's because of this thing over here. Snap. So if you make it like, 50, right? Because more noticeable if you make, okay, let me get super noticeable. 500. Look at this. No accuracy. So you can make it to 1, right? Which is maybe the smallest. Well, actually, if you're super precise,
get a
you can
box,
just dribble it.
put it there.
So now it's smooth. See? So that was pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Because it's tutorial level. So now you have a room. But now what? Right? How do you go inside the room? So this is pretty cool too. You click on the same box. Alright?
Okay, here's the good
Or
stuff.
maybe you need like a window.
And I don't know how much weight I should put on a tutorial that was clearly made on Windows 7. Look at that. Maybe it's just old and can't be done because it's such an old version. But I don't know. Maybe there's a new way of
So
doing
you
it.
put the box here, you're like, wait a minute.
Put the box.
That doesn't do anything, right? Like this literally doesn't do anything. But you go over here, brush type, additive means the box is basically there.
Brush type, brush
You
type.
subtract. Oh, there's a whole
Subtract.
So
Subtract.
now you just
It just
scale
made
it,
the box
right?
invisible, but it
have
did
a
not
nice
cut a
little viewing
hole.
area here for
So
whatever
it
you
does
want.
not do whatever it's doing for
Um,
this guy.
I'm just freestyling this, so
I'm gonna have to try this on some different
things.
Things to see if
This
it
looks
works,
nice.
but I have no
I
idea
think it
why
looks
it's
nice.
working for him and
Maybe it
not for
doesn't
me.
look nice. But look, you got a window, so now you just need a door.
No, I don't have a window. But this is where my hallway is gonna be. All right. So that does not work, clearly. Save all. I'm gonna try it on a different level, on a different map, and see if I can get the same results. Bum 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 bum. Okay, I almost forgot how to do it. Where's my main? Brush of fire. And my crowd is gone here, so I'm gonna have them. That looks really nice. No, no la he revisado todavía, pero voy a probarlo. Aquí en este es un objeto completamente diferente. A ver si, me imagino que si no funciona aquí es porque pues no funciona en ningún otro lado. We'll put a box. Okay, right through the wall. Brush settings, subtract. Boom! It doesn't work. There's gotta be something else. I mean, there's gotta be like a setting or something that I have to click on to enable on this thing here or any other object in order to allow it to be cut. Unless, like you said, the blueprint is just damaged or whatever, or just in general for this object. So let's take a quick look. Does it have a blueprint? I don't see a blueprint for it. I wonder if I take this cube. See, the regular cubes don't have that ability to do the Boolean thing. But take this box brush, run it right through this other box, additive, subtract it. It doesn't work. Tipo de Maya. ¿Qué es Maya? Did you hear about the Amazon? Yeah, I heard about that. It looks pretty interesting. The that software. It looks like it's like I don't know what their angle is. I think they're trying to charge for the rendering hours. So like you use it for free, but to render something you've got to buy like render hours or I don't know how it works. I'm gonna have to check that out at some point. The mesh. Así es como se dice mesh en español. No sabía. The same as yours. Yeah. Basically, well, the object that they're using is the floor object. You know what? It's worth a try. Let me see here. I'm gonna try it with the exact object that they're doing. Medianos, Europa. I think this one has it. Yeah, they're basically just made copies of this object right here. And what they did in the tutorial is that they duplicated it. They did this number to it. And then they grabbed the box brush and put it in there. And set it to, it doesn't work. It looks great and more confusing than Unreal. Yeah, I mean, this way I'm like, I don't want to learn anything else. I just want to create, you know. I'm done learning. But it's like I've been trying to figure out how to do this damn hole forever, and then after spending probably days to finally figure that out, it's going to be something very simple. I don't think I'm ready to just start again with something else, another software. I haven't even tried that. What's that called? That multiverse or what's it called with NVIDIA? Omniverse. I haven't even tried that yet, and that looks amazing as hell too. And that has plugins for iClone and stuff that work with it. I'm dreading learning anything new at this point. The type of object. Okay. So here's the tutorial. I mean, basically what this guy did, he started with the floor object that's right here. He deleted everything. He multiplied that, and he just kind of rearranged it and scaled it to form the walls. So he's basically using the default object that was in there. All right, have a good rest of your day. So after all that, he brings in the box brush thing.
You subtract.
He sets it to subtract,
There's a hole.
and it made the hole.
So now you just
It's so simple,
scale it, right?
but I can't do it. I can't get it to work. Wow. So I gotta keep on reading. Maybe introduction, many cornerstone, blah blah blah, subtract work, great video, thanks, you gave me la 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 la, little da da da. Somewhere in the comments, there's gotta be somebody else who it didn't work for. Confused. Christ. Nope, nobody else. Nobody else. Just me. I'm the only one in the world who this technique doesn't work for. What the hell am I doing wrong? Maybe I should try with an older version just to kind of feed my curiosity. It's crazy. I mean, I did everything that tutorial said. Procedural walls, hole and landscape. 3 ways of making caves, landscape tutorials. They're using blueprints. How to cut holes for doors and windows in Blender. Alright, so I'm going to give it a little bit more. I'm going to give myself another couple of hours, and if I can't do it, I'm going to break down and try to work around it by using Blender. Yeah. Well, hang on. Let's see. I guess it doesn't hurt to just go ahead and buckle down. What was it that 3D Sphinx said? Grab your britches or tighten your britch. I forgot what she said. You gotta just get it done. Let's see. So let's see how far we can actually get with this.
What's up, guys? Justin here with CGEssentials.com, back with another Blender architecture on how to create openings inside of things like that. So we're going to talk through a couple different ways to do this, some of which use app. So one of the things that can get a little bit tricky inside of Blender is when you're doing architectural models, a lot of the time you want to cut an opening for an object.
Yes, I know. That's why I
so
looked for
you
you.
basically have a hole like a door or a window or something like that. And so let's start with a simple example. So I'm going to import a door frame that I downloaded from.
You know, I bought a whole bunch of courses on Udemy on Unreal, and the thing that pisses me off the most and why I'm having a hard time getting back to those is because the first 1/3 of every single one of those courses involves where to download Unreal, how to install Unreal. I'm like, come on, man, that's like all fluff, you know. You're just wasting my time with all this introduction and how to click on the right mouse button. It's the one on the right hand side. I mean, just start, you know. But I don't know why I'm ranting about that. This little whole intro reminded me. It's like 1 minute in, and I just have no patience anymore, you know.
Imported door frame that I downloaded from BlendSwap from Manim 8. I will link to this frame in the notes down below. Basically what I want to do is I want to add this door frame, and I also want to make it so the door frame cuts a hole in my wall. So to start off, we're just going to append this to our model. So just do a file, append. And then when you bring this door frame down, you're going to double click on this, and then we're just going to go into the object.
No. Well, delete that. File, append, and we'll go to the desktop, and we will look for the, is it this? No. Somewhere in here. The hell? Well, it couldn't be as easy as drag and drop, huh? Somewhere in here I have my OBJ file of the arena. Nope, drag and drop didn't work. Let's see if there's an import option. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm reducing myself to using Blender. The hell's going on there? What is that? Oh man, I'm like 30 seconds into Blender and I'm already frustrated. Okay, so somewhere in here, what is that gray thing? All right, riddle me this. What the hell is that gray thing? I don't know. Nope. 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 That's not gonna work. What is this gray thing? Object mode, edit mode. Maybe that'll help. Nope. I have just all sorts of Alright. I thought I'd be able to follow that tutorial along. Oh, it's got some weird bullshit fog of war thing going on like in those video games. Does anybody think that's useful? Alright, so let's see here. Add a cube. And then, let's go back to the tutorial. Where did I leave it? Where is the tutorial? Okay, did I? Oh, I'm an idiot. I see this interface and I think this is Blender and it's the freaking video.
Settings, and you're going to select the option for cube at 0.1 or
Why?
2.010. That's going to bring in the geometry of our door frame.
Okay.
I'm just going to rotate this by doing R, Z, typing in 90. And we're just going to align this with our wall. So I'm just going to move this.
Yeah, I
this
get
way.
it.
And we'll move it this way. And we can scale it a little bit too, so I'm just going to scale it on the x-axis just a bit. Just like this. And so what we have is we now have a door frame in our wall. The problem is the door frame is in our wall and we don't have an opening. Well, the way that we can do this is we can create a boolean that sits inside of the door object that will actually move around wherever our door moves.
Alright,
And so the way
I'm
that
ready.
we do that is we're going to add a cube. We're going to align the cube with
We're
our
gonna add a cube. I know how to
We're
add a
gonna make it so
cube.
that it intersects with our wall. So the easiest way to do this is we're just going to do a Shift A, and we're going to add a cube. And then we're going to go to the front view.
I'm
We're
assuming he's
align
gonna
this
do that.
cube with our door. So most of the time I hold Z, move into wireframe mode to do this, just so that I can see a little bit better what's going on. And we're just going to start aligning vertices. So one thing that
Aligning vertices?
is
What the?
I like to turn snap on by clicking on this button right here, and then setting vertex snap. So what that allows me to do is when I go into edit mode, it'll actually
Okay.
make the vertices snap to items. in
It's
our
filler.
So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the tab key to go into edit mode. And then I'm just going to
Tab key goes into edit mode.
Vertex edit.
Ooh,
And what we're
arrow.
going to do is we're going to start
Okay.
aligning edges. So I'm just going to tap G, and I'm going to align this with this side.
Alright.
Notice how these are snapping and aligning with these objects because we
Yeah, I
turn
care about
snap
alignment.
on. So
Come
you
on.
can see how I can select these edges, and notice that I'm getting the front and the back edges because I'm in wireframe mode. And I'm just going to align these with my door. So, just like this. So now, my cube, if I go back into solid mode or material preview mode, is intersecting with my wall. And so what we want to do now is we want to tab back out of edit mode and click on our wall, and then we want to add a modifier. So we're going to click into modifiers, and under this drop down, we're going to select the option for Boolean. So when you select the option for Boolean,
Okay. So the object, okay, tab out. Select the thing. Add this little tool looking thing here, modifier, to the item that you're going to cut a hole into. And then, what? Boolean. He said Boolean. There we go. Intersect, onion difference, union difference, not onion. Solver options. Oh man, are you serious? My shit doesn't look anything like what he's showing. I don't have no apply or copy button. I don't have. What the heck? Okay. It just moved the option. There it is. So
it's not going to do anything initially, but it's going to ask us what object we want to use for the Boolean operation. Well, in this
Okay.
situation, we want to click on this little button right here, and then we want to select our cube. And so what this is doing
Okay.
is this is now cutting a hole in our object. But part of the problem is you can't see the hole because the cube is blocking it.
Wait, did
And so
he hit
it's
apply?
different. In this situation, we want to click on this little button right here, and then we want to notice that I'm getting the front and the back edges because I'm in wireframe mode, and I'm just going to align these.
Yeah. Come on, you're done.
with my door.
Move on.
So, just like this. So now, my cube, if I go back into solid mode or material preview mode, is intersecting with my wall. And so what we want to do now is we want to tab back out of edit mode and click on our wall. Then we want to add a modifier. So we're going to click into modifiers, and under this drop down, we're going to select the option for Boolean. So when we select the option for Boolean, it's not going to do anything initially, but it's going to ask us what object we want to use for the Boolean operation.
Okay, so we don't hit the apply button. We just use this thingamajig and select that cube 01, and then what?
operation, we want to click on this little button right here, and then we want to select our cube. And so what this is doing is this is now cutting a hole in our object. But part of the problem here is we can't see the hole because the cube is blocking it. And so I think there's a few different ways to do this. And so what I like to do is just turn this off inside my scene so that you can't see this. One thing to do,
Turn it off inside the scene. Like, he means hide it. Okay. Now how do I get this into Unreal? I mean, I brought in that big OBJ file. Will that allow me to edit it? Because when I brought it in, it was being cut off. Do 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 do. Bam bam. I made a hole through an object that I can't use. But okay, so what I get from this is that I somehow selected the original object first, and that's the object that I turned into a Boolean object, and then a secondary object was used to make the actual hole. So I wonder if in Unreal we can do that to tell that edge, to tell that stadium that that stadium is a Boolean object. So that it can have a hole. Could it be as simple as just asking Google? Make turn mesh into Boolean object in Unreal. So that same option should be available. Mesh Boolean operations plugin. Hey, if I can pull it off with a plugin, that'll work too. Let's see what this is. Create your blueprint, choose blah blah blah. I tried. I think back when it was Blender 2.75 or something like that, and it's just changed so dramatically, and I didn't finish it. I just then the newer versions came out, because in those days, I guess, like, Blender with every release was significantly different, from version to version. So no. To answer the question in short, but I think I'm gonna have to at some point, and really what I need is to be able to move between Blender and Unreal easily, because I have a feeling, I made this hole, right? I got it done, but now I gotta figure out how to bring it into Unreal. And it's not just a matter of bringing it in. I gotta replace the original prop that's in there and that prop has like a million textures and materials in it. So I can see myself. I don't think I'm ready to be doing all that one material at a time. Yeah, Blender. I mean, I think Blender has become a little bit easier from what I've noticed. I mean, I'm still not a user of it, but it works more like a computer software should. It you know, the right click gives you options, and you know, the middle mouse button does things like just like everywhere else. I mean, whereas before it was like you gotta do alt right click, you know, whatever, the electric shuffle, just to get the context menu to show up or something. Let's see, let's make a second copy of our actor. I wonder if this plugin is available. You know what, if I can pull it off using a plugin rather than a native function, I am perfectly fine with that. Ah, but it requires you use their object. It's not gonna do it on an existing object. See, that's it right there. But that's an object that they put in there from that same blueprint. It's not. Yeah. No, I need to cut a hole through an existing mesh. That's what I need. Show me that. Yeah, no. This, ooh, what is that? Okay. Yeah, so that's not gonna work with an actual mesh. That only works on other blueprint-based objects from that plugin. So that was a bust. Let's see here. Geometry script patterns, learn model inside of Unreal. What is a Boolean? The mesh tool. Editor for Unreal Engine allows you to edit mesh assets and prototype props, blah blah blah. Here we go. Booleans.
Hello everyone. So what I want to do in this quick tutorial is I want to show you how to use booleans inside of Unreal Engine 5. So Unreal Engine 5 has a beta plugin, or I believe it is even an alpha plugin, that allows us to have like some modeling tools, including booleans, which is really cool. Now before you can get started with this, first of all, as far as I know, it is only available in Unreal Engine 5, because even here it is still in alpha. And secondly, you need to activate it. So to activate it, you just want to go ahead and go to Edit and Plugins. Let's make sure no bit small. And then in here, if you just go ahead and you type in modeling, you should already see it, modeling tool editor mode. So just go ahead and press enable. Oh yeah, see beta 0.1, so it's really new. So over here you can just press enable and you will need to restart your engine. But when you do that, you will have this extra button here at the top. So if we go ahead and click on that, you can see that we have quite a bit of stuff in here. Now I will not go ahead and go over anything in here except for our booleans, just because
Appreciate
there's a
that.
lot of stuff to cover, not everything is working as great. So let's go ahead and just focus on our booleans. Now I have a cube over here. It does not matter if you use a cube or if you use like entire buildings like we have over here. This will work with any model along with any material, so it's really cool. So
Any model with any material?
We'll go for a more drastic example. So what we need to do first is we need to go ahead and we need to create like something to cut out. So let's go ahead and just grab like a box over here. And you can go ahead and you can just click on it. And this box, as soon as you click, it will just snap to a surface over here. So what I can do is I can go ahead and click once to apply it, and then press complete. At this point, this is a box.
I'm gonna
that I
put
can
that to the
just
test. He
however
said
I want.
any
So let's say
object,
I'm
any
showing
material.
say like this, and a boolean, for people that don't know, it just means cutting something out of a different model. So I want to cut this box out of this model, which is also just a cube in this case. So let's say that I have this cube over here. Now this is super easy. All you want to do is you want to select your main model from which you want to cut something out of, and then you want to hold Ctrl and you want to select the box. As soon as you do that, you can see that some of the settings here change.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He just said something. Wait a minute. So, if we go to, okay, so if we select this first, hit Control, and then select that one, no, it won't work. Okay, never mind. as long as I'm here. Edit, plugins. I don't have that plugin. Modeling tools mode. Modeling tools editor mode. What is that one? Enable a modeling tools tab. Alright. Let's restart. Let's see what happens. I remember trying to follow simple instructions when I got Blender. It was terrible. There was no such thing as simple instructions for Blender. Okay. What the hell is this box doing here? Oh, I put it there earlier. Okay, so let's see. Just to see if by any chance enabling that plugin is all that I needed to do. Nope. Alright. So now let's go back to this tutorial.
So over here you can just press enable and you will need to restart your engine. But when you do that, you will have this extra button here at the top. So if we go ahead and click on that, you can see that we have...
Where's my button at the top? What button at the top? What button at the top? What the hell? My shit doesn't look anything like that.
Here at the top. So if we go ahead and click on that, you can see that we have quite a bit of
What?
stuff. Now but when you do that, you will have this extra button here at the top.
Extra button at the top. That's this right here. Is it? No. I have no button at the top. What are you talking about? Basic. Oh my goodness. No way. Nope, I got no button at the top. Let's see, do we have a window option? Do 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 do. Layers. All right. Well, I'm gonna continue reading up on this stuff, watch a few more tutorials, and then get ready for little VR action in about an hour from now. I'm gonna be playing Population 1. Feel free to hook up with us. Look for me under the name Toon Titan. Befriend me or look for Mr. Ibis on Oculus. And yeah, let's play some VR. Bye.